What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Savage Land. Welcome back to the black hole here. I just thought about it last week. That's why I should start calling. Like I said back and forth, this is the black hole of the internet, the action figure toy collecting community. So this is the black hole. This is where I dwell. Welcome to the Savage Land. Welcome to another episode of Soapbox. If you haven't been here before, I got 3 segments: community, G.I.
Joe is G.I. Joe.
And I also have a hot topic. So community this week will basically be Hasbro Pulsecon. That's what I'm gonna go over. I know you guys probably seen this 1,000 times from other people, but hey, hear me talk about it now this week on Soapbox. And what I'll do is I'll go through kind of quick, but I just really want to give my thoughts on it. It's not nothing like beating a dead horse or anything like that, but I didn't get really a chance to go into it. Just a little bit of G.I. Joe this weekend, which G.I. Joe is king. And we'll do that part of Hasbro Pulsecon and
G.I. Joe is G.I. Joe.
And then we'll go with the hot topic. And the hot topic this week is not to regurgitate any negative energy or anything like that, but I'll be sitting up here lying to you if I act like I did not watch this live stream of Talker Art and Book Night and just my thoughts on it. I will say this, it's kind of not really about them, but I can't talk about them without them. It's really about Artemis Pine, and I'll probably get booed for this or whatever. I really don't care. But I thought he did a great thing. There's a lot of stray missiles, a lot of indirect shots, a lot of direct shots too, with some people that feud on this internet, man. So what better platform to bring it to than one of the biggest toy reviewers in the game? And he was the first person I saw when I discovered, wow, this toy shit on the internet. It was him. And he said he doesn't like bring that over to his platform because the people don't deserve that. And he's right, man. So great way to do that. But we're gonna get into that. Enough of that. So basically, let's go through community. So this week on community, we're gonna pretty much go over Hasbro Pulsecon. Besides G.I. Joe, I'll save that for G.I. Joe. And we'll talk about what mostly interested me. Once again, I'm not into Transformers, man. So anybody looking for Transformers information, I'm sorry. I won't even be excited talking about that. Power Rangers, I'm good on that. Wasn't really too much. I think that line is about to end, the Lightning Collection. And who else? Magic the Gathering. I don't mess with cards or anything like that. So we'll mostly go with the Marvel Spider-Man wave, and we'll go with, I call it the Black Panther wave, but it's a figure called the Void. That's a builder figure. So those are the 2 things I'll be talking about from that. But first up, Jada Toys put up the pre-order for Ken. He's due out January 2024, and out of Ken and Ryu, I'm a Ken guy. I do not know why I like Ken more. Maybe because he's in red, and red is my favorite color. But I love me some Ken Masters, man. I'm a Ken Masters man. Ryu's okay, but give me Ken all day. And this is what I've been waiting on. Now, as far as the figure, same exact figure. Does the same stuff as Ryu. Same articulation. Probably the same body. I was just about to hold myself like maybe not, but come on, it's Ken and Ryu. I mean, they share the same sprites. Their originality came from the same figure. Just, I don't know if they were being lazy or what, but it was like, hey, we'll make one Japanese American and just give them the same body. But he looks good. Ryu's great, so I know Ken will be good. The only thing that's probably different is the head sculpt. And why does he look like a crazy ass He-Man? Yo, he looks like he's deranged He-Man. Crazy deranged He-Man. That's what he looks like. But of course, Ken with the golden blonde hair, known for that. And kind of, they go more for a game face. And it might be Ryu's face. They might share a face sculpt. Who knows? I got to put them together and see. But it just kind of looks kind of like surreal, but it looks good. And like I said, he's up for pre-order now. I seen him on Big Bad Toy Store, and he will be due out January 2024. Also, what I seen just browsing, and I wasn't gonna put this up here, but I seen this right before I started filming Soapbox, is the Super Action Stuff Game On. And is it me, or does it seem like these action packs go up? They started at 29, now they 35, now they 40. So I did some looking into it, and I will justify it a little bit. So with this Super Action Stuff Game On, which I have, I believe 2 packs that I brought from them. I love their effects. They come with great weapons. They come with great blood splatter. Just a bunch of diorama fodder is what I call it, and it's great. I've definitely used it a lot between Storm Collectibles blood effects and Super Action Stuff blood effects, I don't know the difference. I just kind of mix and match them, and I'm kind of almost done collecting Storm Collectibles, especially Mortal Kombat. So I don't know if I'll be getting blood effects from that way, but let's say I got enough blood effects between those two to make a bloodbath. But with this game on, it's a different thing. It comes with an arcade cabinet. And don't be fooled, that's not Marvel vs. Capcom. You look closely, that's like some generic, but it looks just like it. I swear that was like Strider or somebody on the side in Ryu, but it's not. But it has a LED light to light up so that like the arcade game is really working. So it comes with a cabinet. It comes with a He's on Fire NBA Jam, hockey sticks. Comes with an assortment of balls, footballs. Looks like it has a soccer ball. Also, it has a chair with a guitar. I'm like, man, did he see the thumbnail for my rock and roll review, man? They be watching our shit, man. They be watching our shit, man. It's time for us to get a check off that shit. But no, which is great. But that's the scene I had set up. He comes with that, headphones, controls. So pretty much anything dealing with games, as far as physical and as far as gaming, like video games, that's what this action pack is. And instead of a blood effect, it has a puke effect, which I think is pretty dope. A coffee mug. So pretty much just the gamer's elite set. And at first when I seen for it, I'm like, damn, man, all right, man, y'all keep jumping up with this little shit, because that's not something I use all the time. But I'm there. I don't know if it's essential, but it is. So, but I justify it with that LED light that gives a little bit of extra features to it, and it's a cool set. So I think I'm gonna bite on this. But it is due out. When is this set due out? I should have it up here. I was about to walk over and see, but I should have it up here when that set is due out, because it's from Big Bad Toy Store. So up for pre-order now. Also, what I came across this week, and if you guys haven't seen my figure hunt, I took you in the day in the life of, took you on my trucking route. I went out to Charlotte, I went to Burlington, North Carolina, searching the Targets and Ollie's for Avengers half off, and I finally had found it. So the sale is real. And also on the flip side, actually earlier today, I went to Target in my hometown, and they finally put the sale on, and all those Thor Defenders were gone. All those 2-packs, they got wiped out. So while I was out of town cheating on my main squeeze Target, she was giving up the goods. So, you know, but at the end of the story, I did catch my Hawkeye. I did get what I was looking for. And on the flip side, I left those putties up in Charlotte, came down to my store, and she still gave me some a little bit. I picked up two of those Cobra Kai putties from there for $13.99. I'll tell you guys that information later on the grunts on G.I. Joe. It's G.I. Joe. So, but it's out there. Far as that 50% off in Target, everything's probably about dried up now. So it literally, what a difference a day makes with that sale. So stay on it this week. If it hasn't hit your town yet, stay on it. Go if you can, man, because I was only away from that Target 48 hours, and all those yellow stickers were up there, and all that good stuff was getting grabbed up, man. So still a few things left, so check it out. But 50% sale at Target. Go out there and check it out. Go get them. All right, let's get into the Hasbro Pulsecon. And pretty much what I was interested in Pulsecon, besides G.I. Joe, is the Marvel Legends side. They showed off a few things from Giant Man. He actually has eyes now that are set in where he can look sideways or he can look down, which is a great addition. And they not changed out the antennas. They gave some more white antennas to go with the more classic Giant Man. But I think they need the white strap also, but they wouldn't be able to do that because they said they're going to wrap it around almost kind of like a baby shirt up under there. So I don't think they'll be able to do that, but cool. Anything extra is cool. I'm pleased with the initial offering. So those extras really don't move me too much, but they are good to have, especially the looking down eyes. That's great for photography. But the Spider-Man No Way Home wave. Okay, my thoughts on that. I'm gonna try to run through this quick. The three Spider-Mans, you got Toby, you got Andrew, you got Tom Holland, Garfield, what's his name, McGuire? Yeah, Toby Maguire, I believe that's his name. But you got those three. As far as me, the face sculpts, they look pretty good. I mean, Holland looks like it. Andrew Garfield with the big old fro out hair, he looks like that. And Toby looks good too. As far as they suits, they look good. But just with Toby and Andrew has the limited hands. Now they do have good articulation, but they don't have a full Renew Your Vows body because they don't have the boot joint on there. I don't, the toe articulation. I don't know why I couldn't think of that, but they don't have the toe articulation. But Peter, his suit looks the best to me. It looks like a comic book suit turned real. It's very blue and red and vibrant. Then it looks like it has raised lines. All of them look like they have raised lines and sculpt on there. Far as this set, how I feel, I think the face sculpts are good enough for me to say, hey, I like those. I want to purchase those. I believe the suits, I believe the bodies are good enough. Now, as far as Toby and Andrew, they don't have a lot of hands. Peter has all his hands, the crawling hands, thwip hands, and I believe he might have some fists, but he looks like he has like 3 sets of hands, not including the ones on him, I believe. So actually 4 sets. And Toby and Andrew, they gave them pieces, that 1 thwip and maybe a raw wall crawling. So my thing is, I've been debating back and forth, do I want these? And I think eventually I will get these. But what I want them for is just pretty much novelty items. I just want to pose them up on the shelf, that's it. Because I really don't care too much for MCU figures, but I do like those 3 Spider-Mans. I think that's an iconic move, and I think that's a nice set to grab. They also look good in packaging too, but of course I'm gonna get mine out loose and display them like that. As far as Mary Jane, Zendaya, she looks good. She looks like Zendaya to me. She's actually looks like a pretty nice figure to have. Just for regular random person type figure, it looks good. I think the sculpt looks good, and she looks good enough to me for purchase. Sandman is the only one that's kind of iffy, because I think he would look good probably with a wash, but I don't think he's really like a dirty sand in that movie. It is kind of beige just like that, but he looks like a cookie or some type of baked good, just the way he looks. And then he's really not muscular. It's more like a real human kind of anatomy. It's not a comic book, so that's why I think he looks kind of funny in that torso, because he's just not this ripped, chiseled up like sand guy. He's just like some regular dad and shit. And he is, yo, like he's trying to get back his son. He's some regular dad motherfucking shit who got turned into sand, so it's not gonna be pretty, you know what I'm saying? So, but he looks all right. Basically me, I'm good with my my comic version that came on the card back a couple of years ago, but he kind of has that same setup with like sand gauntlets to hide the interchangeable pieces, the big hands. So he, like I said, he's decent. He's not great. And then also they have Matt Murdock, Daredevil, in his regular lawyer clothes, and with a brick that he catches, I believe, in No Way Home. It like flies from an explosion or something. I don't know what happens. Something happens, but he catches it, and that's really kind of the only accessory he comes with, his cane. And then he looks pretty good. I thought he was a thicker looking suit body, but I think it's the same suit, but it's pinless. But as far as him, he looks good enough. He looks good enough to cop too. But definitely, I'm debating on those 3 Spider-Mans, and I think I might lean towards getting them. So it's up for pre-order now, due out January 2024. So if you like that No Way Home wave, you can pre-order it pretty much from anywhere, due out January 2024. Now up next is a wave that really interested me also. There's actually a couple of figures in there I actually do want to get. There's no doubt about it that I am going to get them. I was calling the Black Panther wave, but it's the Void wave. I know nothing about that builder figure, but I will say this, it does look cool, and that is a builder figure, not a fucking dog in a spacesuit. Okay, so let's go through the first figure. First off, the Crystar figure. Don't know much about it, but it's a cool looking figure. That's just a figure I will buy on the humble. If I just see it out, you know, hey, I'll grab it. It's a figure that could potentially be built for a basic buck for an Iceman. So we'll see how that goes with the clear translucent. Then also up next is a figure called Justice. I know nothing about this man. I got kind of like Hawkman vibes. I don't know why. Maybe because the cowl that he has on, but looks pretty decent, but definitely nothing I will get. I tell you what, he will be bought if I'm convinced to get 4 of these figures, and then I'm like, you know what? I might as well build that Void. And that's what I used to do back in the day. That's how Marvel Legends used to get me to build the figures. If I got 4, I'm like, oh, what the hell? Let me go get 3 more. Especially by that time, if the wave is kind of out of style and the price is coming down, I'm definitely grabbing the rest of them. But Justice. Then you have Namorita. Don't know anything about her. She's kind of, I guess, like Aquaman. She has the feathers on the feet. So I guess she's an Atlantean or Atlantis person, some way related to him. I believe they said she was a part of the New Warriors, especially the part from the Civil War comics when the New Warriors was filmed in a reality TV show near a school, and they blew up the block and the playground and killed like 50-60 children. It was like devastating. The same thing that they pretty much built the Civil War movie off of in the MCU, like that building blowing up, and that's how they got in trouble. That's how the comic Civil War started. But she looks pretty good. Like I said, she's one of those figures that if I get over a certain limit, then yes, she will be got to build Void. Also Vision. I have never brought a comic Vision. I think I brought one Vision, the white WandaVision Vision. I don't think I ever bust out of the pack. I think that's like a figure I got in a box somewhere. But they never excited me. This one on this Vulcan Buck, I believe it's the Vulcan Buck, big and beefy, and he's comic original, so he's definitely getting got. Of course, this Black Panther with the gold accents. He's definitely getting got. That's why I'm not tripping off that other Black Panther I've been looking for, and plus he's cheap on Amazon, because I'm definitely gonna get this black and gold one. And this black and gold one comes out, that one that came out from last year, the price will drop even more, because now you got dueling Panthers basically. So he's definitely getting got. I'm feeling that. I'm loving that Vulcan body for Black Panther. I think that's cool. The first one is very sleek, very, very cool. And then also Savage Namor. Because his name is Savage Namor, you think I would like this figure? I don't. I don't know shit about him. I don't even like my regular Namor that I got. I'm just not a big Namor guy. So he's one of those ones. If I buy over 4, he definitely will be brought to get towards Void. And then last but not least, Power Princess. Know nothing about her, but definitely a figure I think I will buy. So that's Power Princess, Vision, Black Panther. That's only 3. Yeah, Void might not be getting built. So that might be some ollies like a year or 2 later. But really what I'm really after is Black Panther and Vision, man. So that wave will be up for pre-order on October 3rd, which is next week, and it's due out for January 2024 also. Also, last on the community far as Hasbro Postcon is the Doc Ock and Green Goblin movie deluxe figures. They didn't have a pre-order date for them yet, but these figures look good. I didn't never get that comic Doc Ock with the tentacles, but I'm contemplating getting this movie Doc Ock. I do not buy MCU no more. It's pointless to me. I know I'm more of a comic man. About a year or so ago, maybe 2 years ago, I looked at my collection, like, what am I aiming for more? And of course, comics. Like, it took me a long time to warm up to the MCU. So I really don't buy, but these figures right here will not make me reconsider to buy MCU, but I might make an exception and get these, especially this Doc Ock and this Green Goblin. They look good. They're novelty pieces. I don't plan on doing anything with them. We just have them set up and just have a nice display with them. So they said, I think they're going up for pre-order next week. A deluxe figure, I'm thinking they're going to be more between the $45 and $50 side. So we'll see. And they didn't give an exact date, and next week is actually this week because I'm talking in the present now. But we'll see. All right, let's get into this week's of
G.I. Joe is G.I. Joe.
And with G.I. Joe is G.I. Joe, the new phrase is G.I. Joe is king. Yes, king of all action figures. But this week will be dedicated strictly to the Postcon and kind of me getting in depth, giving my thoughts on the reveals that we saw. But first, what I want to talk about before we get into the Hasbro Postcon, which is a hot topic in G.I. Joe, is these $11.99 grunts. I did not film this because I filmed a short today in Target when I told you I came home and I found that my Target had did the half off sale, and there was people in there stocking. They're doing the SKUs over. So I just asked the guy, I said, you guys got Grunt in the back? And he was like, let me check. And Target is so helpful. Every time you ask for them, they pull those little thing out. And they be looking. I actually showed him a picture. And the kid looks it up, and he tells me, he says, yeah, he said, we actually supposed to get a new shipment. It says, what is the month? 9/28 September, right? 9/28 September 28th. They're supposed to get a shipment of grunts, 4 of them coming in. And right before I left, I said, oh, how much they gonna cost? He said $11.99. I don't know if that's like a mishap going on, but that's a nationwide thing. Or did Hasbro mean for them to be $11.99? I don't think so. No, because everywhere else did $24. So what is going on with Target? And I need to get to those 4 for $11.99 before the jig is up. Okay, so as far as Hasbro Postcon and G.I. Joe, we'll go through just the name mentions that they said that that they were gonna have there. So pretty much they had a digital render of Metalhead, which that was just supposed to be a name reveal, but he ended up being in the digital renders and he does look good. A Cobra Night Creeper. So I've heard of Night Creeper before. I just can't really remember what type of troop that is, man. Cobra is getting real creepy and crawly. Pretty soon they gonna just sell you a dead motherfucker in a coffin. And you're like, what am I supposed to do with this dead person? You know what I'm saying? Just lay him down. But everybody's getting so zombied out, man. They're just gonna sell you just a fucking Bernie. That's what they're gonna sell you. And then also a Cobra Ferret. So they're coming with the ATV vehicles, which, of course, you know that shouldn't be a HasLab, and they already gave you a motorcycle. What's wrong with a Cobra Ferret, which is basically a four-wheeler? And a cool thing I seen when I pulled up the Google picture for this was Storm Shadow and Firefly riding on together, like, you know, to butt the front, like he's like riding, like holding them, yo. So I don't know. Hopefully one of them will come with it, or maybe they'll have a new version of one of them to come with that ferret. Also, Naugahyde, which I forgot about this. Like, there's so many GI, like Metalhead. Like, I used to watch the Deep cartoon, but I wasn't old enough to see that, hey, there's a difference in here. But I do remember him as like a kooky, crazy dude, and that's when they switched their song up to that Got to Get Tough. But like I don't remember everybody. I know I don't. I ain't gonna front like I do, man. But this Naugahyde character, like once I was like, Naugahyde, once I seen him, I was like, oh, with the boars. So he was a dreadnought. So he's supposed to be coming out. And I think a figure like that is gonna be a rock star. I'm already calling it. They have no choice but to deck him out. And he's coming with an animal, which is a rare, like not a rare animal, but just obscure animal to bring into a toy line, like a razorback boar, you know. So that'll be pretty cool to see. Also said they're gonna do a retro beachhead, which everybody's pretty much waiting on that for the accurate beachhead. Also, they're gonna redo the Snow Serpent. If that Snow Serpent that it's up now, which I'm pretty sure is in 1 through 100. Is it in 1 through 100? I'm not even gonna get that because I'm not interested, but I'll probably go more towards that one. That one probably be a little bit cheaper. It won't come as much, and it might be better. To be honest with you, less is better sometimes. And then they're also going to since you missed out on the first time, which I said the other day, a retro eel. So an eel's going to be put on a card back too, which is cool, man. So I don't know what's going on with the Amazon situation. I thought that was coming back up. Maybe it will, but I don't know. It looks kind of kooky right now. So on all of those name reveals, they don't have a date yet. And of course, you know, the name reveals come probably by almost Christmas time. We'll see the digital renders, and then we'll probably have maybe something a little closer, pre-order dates, who knows, but they hadn't really said anything about that. But let's go into the digital renders that I seen, and let's start off first with the first name reveal they did was Metalhead. And the digital render for Metalhead looks good. He has rockets, he has places where his rockets can attach at his hips and I believe his shoulders, and he looks like a potential rock star. He looks like a pretty cool action figure. I never thought that I would want a action figure of this guy. I didn't have the original one, and just vaguely, like I said, I just remember him from that Deep cartoon, which he was a big part of it. He was like a main goon in that. I do remember that. But like I said, I was just too young of an age to know the difference. When Deke came out, I was born in 83. I was probably watching it around 91, 90, 92, something like that. And I think it was coming on a little bit before that. So you talking about I'm like 8 or 9 years old. I don't know the difference between that shit. You know what I'm saying? I just know it's G.I. Joe. And the one thing I can remember is that they switched up the theme song. But he looks good, man. He looks like potential rock star status, man. And he has great fodder pieces too. He has rockets and missiles and effects. So we'll see how that works out. Also, they showed a digital render of the Televiper, which that looks really good. I love the purple. Kind of reminds me of the Hiss Tank drivers, the way they set that up. Once again, another Cobra troop builder. So for me, and I would advise, well, I don't know, I wouldn't advise anybody to do what you want to do. But for me, this is what I doing. I'm just getting 5 apiece of these Cobra troopers, because for me to go 10, 15, 20 with troops, it doesn't make sense anymore. And besides, as far as the main troops, which I went heavy with, that's the ones you need heavy with, because those are the most prominent troops. The Cobra troopers, the original Alley Vipers, and even Crimson Guards and original Bats. All these original guys, I can see a collector having between 10 and 20 of those, because that's the brute force. And then all these other motherfuckers, those are just special 5s. in my eyes, that's the way I see it. I think that's the perfect army blend for that. And then also they showed a digital render of Big Boa. Really not too crazy over him. He looks like he could be a fun figure. He has a removable helmet. You've never seen him without his helmet before. He kind of gives off that Italian Rocky Balboa looks. That's really what he was kind of mimicked after, or not even mimicked, just his whole features is basically just off boxing because it was supposed to be him. That looks like a pretty fun set to have. The Rock Roller pretty much has a vest on, like the dog vest that usually service dogs wear, and he looks good too. The most interesting thing about this set is the many hands for different dog signals to communicate, and I thought that was dope. I thought that was actually a great addition. And then up next we got Quick Kick, which I don't know why I still get Shanghai vibes from him, but I know it's probably going to be a way better figure than that Shang-Chi, I'm sorry, wasn't a bad figure. I actually have it over there, but just every time I look at it, it just looks like a remake of that figure. But a lot of people anticipating for this Quick Kick, and I am too. Am I crazy over Quick Kick? No. But it'll be cool to get him in some photos with Fei Long, being that they're both shirtless kung fu guys, and see how that works out. So I actually can't wait for that. Then they also showed another figure, Airborne. Don't have a really huge allure about Airborne, but I'm glad he did the Dragonfly, and he's a separate release. Not for me, just for everybody else who didn't want him gate locked behind that. But pretty cool figure. Looks like a great addition. And then they went to retro figures. So Retro Duke is coming out, which is great. That looks like Duke. Duke is definitely was in need of a revamp. I like the old one too, but I like this one better. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a bigger, thicker buck, a bigger, thicker body, and it should fit well in with the newer Joes. And then also they showed Ricardo. They showed him in his regular like khaki tan outfit, and I will say I like the Tiger Force version better. I like that black shirt he got. Kind of gives off more of like a I don't know, Predator, Jesse the Body, Kurt Russell type ordeal. But this one looks good too, and he probably get grabbed. It's not a bad figure, it's the same one. I just like the outfit on the other one a little bit better. And then the all-time favorite of this one is Retro Scarlet. I'm glad I never opened up my other Scarlets. They look good, they just didn't do it for me. This does it for me. This looks like she's gonna be a rock star. She'd be a great female to add in. Now, the figures that are up for pre-order, and I believe they're due out December 1st, these guys, is General Hawk, which looks great. I'm very satisfied with him. Like I said, he looked kind of funny to me because he didn't have his helmet on. I've never really seen General Hawk without his helmet, kind of, but it just looked funny. Not funny bad, it just throws you off. Kind of like the Dreadnoks I'm gonna talk about without the glasses. It looks funny. It's almost kind of like Bebop. Or which one? No, what's it? Rocksteady? No, Bebop without his glasses. Like they're known for having them shits fixated on their head. But General Hawk looks good, man. I definitely put a pre-order in for 2 of those. That's something I want to see almost immediately. And then what really surprised me was Agent Helix. But I really like the way Agent Helix is decked out. I like her colorways. I like her outfit. I like her accessories. I like the little flip-out knives on the forearm with the ninja swords. I think that's pretty dope. I don't know anything about her, but I can't wait to know more about her. I definitely put her on pre-order. That's the first kind of female I kind of really like just jumped on like that, and I'm willing to give her a go and see how she works out. Also, Shockwave was put up for pre-order. I had Shockwave as a kid. I do remember him. I did have Shockwave, and I liked him. I always liked the way his blue fatigues look with the navy blue vest, and they pretty much stuck to the script on that. Now, as far as around his eyes, I said it could have been a little bit more intensity for a guy who's a pretty much part of a SWAT team. He's not a regular police officer or a regular soldier. He's always in a hectic situation. A SWAT team isn't a regular cop walking the beat. When they get called to go to work, they get called to kick down doors and get into action. So I thought he needed a little bit more intensity on there. But other than that, I think he looks good. I'm definitely going to get him. And I think he's a great figure. Now, let's go to Ripper and Buzzer, the Dreadnoks. I'm not a really big... I'm gonna say Dreadnoks first, but I'm not just crazy over them. But they're gonna get got, trust me, to go along with the Dreadnoks. They look pretty good. They just look weird without their glasses. Of course, for most people, they're gonna keep their glasses on. I thought it was a great option to have them removed. So maybe somebody wants to like, especially for action figure photography. I think that's really what it's for, and I'm cool 100% with that, man. So all these guys went up for pre-order. as soon as the Pulsecon was over, of course, they're sold out on Hasbro Pulse. But none of these are exclusives. None of these that's went up for pre-order. They're pretty much mainstream all the way across the board. You can wait till they hit the shelves, or you can put your pre-order in on Big Bad Toy Store, Amazon, Hasbro Pulse if it's still up there. And I think this time I'll actually order a few from Hasbro Pulse just to see. I kind of split half and half. I think I did a Shockwave on Big Bad Toy Store, and I did a Shockwave on Hasbro Pulse. And sometimes I do a game like that. Okay, which one's gonna come first? So, but they're ready and available for you. All right, let's get into this week's hot topic. And I mentioned it at the beginning of the episode. I'm not doing this to be controversial. I just want to do it to talk about it. Shartimus Prime brought Talker Art and Boog Nice on to his other show, Russ Reviews Toys, or Russ Toys Reviews, which is a secondary channel where he curses a little bit more and a little bit more adult flavor. And I thought it was a great move on Shartimus Prime. Not a lot of people's giving him the props on that. They think they used him or whatnot, but him and Talker Art are friends. Are they close friends? I don't know. I don't know how much friends are they. I can tell they do have somewhat of a relationship, because Talker Art had like a little thing with Shartimus Prime about a year and a half ago when they did that between each other. But there was a nasty video put up, which, look, I don't have a dog in fight on either side. If you watch my channel, you see I do watch ACBA, and I'm more leaning towards watching Boog's channel more than Talker Arts. But I don't have a dog in the fight. I've never met any one of them. I've commented on both of their channels before, and all I had gotten was a comment back, and that's about as far as relationship I know with them. But when you do things out in public, it becomes public information, and I have a right to speak on it. But my thing is not to regurgitate it back up for negativity, like, hey, did you see that, and choose sides. It's just to say, to bring some light to Shartimus Prime. For one, that was a big thing he did, and that's what men need to do. They need to get together and talk, and also just talk about that situation that goes on in the toy community with the back and forth bickering. But first thing I'll do, I'll go through each side. Talker Art, I actually used to watch his channel, not a lot, but quite more than I used to. That thing that happened at the Hasbro kind of turned me off with that, because the way he used that, it was the context, the way he used it. And then just forget about all the racist shit, just, you know, being an asshole, man, you know what I'm saying? But with him, I believe he's like that, but I believe he leans into it too. And the reason I can go, not necessarily go with Talker Art, but I understand where he's coming from. There's a person on the internet called Charleston White. Okay, he's a real controversial character, and he really leans into it. And he be going after his own people, us black people, getting on our little shit that we do, and some of that shit needs to be said, but he'll take it way overboard, like fuck your mother, or fuck your sister. Now fuck your sister in the ass, just stuff like that. If you got kids in the room, I'm sorry about that vocal, but I'm just trying to give an example here. But he just takes it way overboard. But I do like him because he be dropping jewels, and from Talker Arts audience, that's what they like about him, that he's real, and you could pull out a few things, but he puts a lot of extra sauce on the shit and leans into it. Now, is he really like that? I don't believe so, but I believe he is like that, but I believe he takes his character and amps it up 10 times. You know what I'm saying? This is toytainment, you know, at the end of the day. Far as that video, I thought that was nasty. I thought he didn't really have to do that, but he's a grown man. These are two grown men, so he has the right to do whatever he wants to do on that. But if it was me and that shit was aimed at me, I'd be feeling kind of tight too about that. Will I be doing a bunch of crazy shit on the internet, going back and forth and making crazy videos? No, but I'd be tight about that shit to the point I'm like, well, damn, when I see him, we gonna have to see what's up, man. He was like, you know, it is what it is, but it was kind of like a cliffhanger. It is what it is. Whatever you want to do, it wasn't like it is what it is. When I see you, I'm come at me. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Really don't care on that end. But that's him. Like I said, I might still be subscribed to his channel. I'm not too sure. But like I said, dude's been in the toy game for a minute. He's collected for a long time, and but just the extra sauce shit, I really don't like about it. But at the end of the day, like I said, I don't have a dog in this fight. My personal opinion on him is not basing what I'm talking about right now. I'm just giving you a background of him, which of course most of you watching probably know who Talker Art is. Now, as far as Boog, he almost seems like a real passive person. Now, from what I've seen, he hadn't really been talking too much shit. Like a little small, like little subliminals there, but nothing where he's digging into something for like a minute or two. It's really like a couple of seconds. Now, what I have heard or seen that maybe sometimes he wouldn't show up to a live, somebody wanted to talk to him or whatnot on a situation. I can't even really recall exact which one, so I don't want to kind of just throw that out there, but basically, make a long story short, I hoping he wasn't going to pass up on this. Like, I was going to be looking at him sideways, because after a video like that and after so much back and forth going on, men need to talk it out. Because really at the end of the day, like, what are you going to do? Go to a Comic-Con and hit somebody across the fucking head? Like, you can't do that. And especially as a black man, like, I don't even care. Like, we go do something like that, like, it's going to be like little chipper chapper, like, you know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't want that for him. I wouldn't want that for nobody. I wouldn't really want that in a situation like that. So for Shartimus Prime to come up and be the mediation of that, and he's a very non-combative person for what I've seen. Like, people talk so much shit about him. I can tell it. Maybe sometimes it bothers him, but not really. He seems to keep on like soldiering on. Like, so he has a big platform that he has to take care of, and he can't really fall into that. Make a long story short, on both sides of these guys, man, like I said, I don't have a dog in either one of these fights, but I think Shartimus should do that more with other toy collectors. But once again, he probably doesn't have a relationship with them. But if not him, somebody who's in a realm to be a mediator of when these back and forth shots going, because you wonder, like, yo, where are they coming from? Like, why are they going at it like this? Because it gets a little bit more deeper and a little bit more away from toys. So, like I said, my biggest thing is forget about those two guys now. Let's just give it up for Shartimus Prime. I'm going to give him a round of applause if nobody else does, because I thought that was cool that he brought both of them on there. He was a middle ground, a median, and he tried to work it out. And I'll take a few points from that. A lot of people say it was pointless. I don't think it was. Now, it was a lot of jibber jabber, a lot of shit talking back and forth, but I don't think it was pointless. I think it was good for two people to sit down at the same time, so it's not this gray line or this in between times. And what I got from it is, and what Shartimus like, I hope it was a different, Shartimus said it, he was like, I hope it's a different outcome. But these are 40-year-old plus men. Like, nobody has to be friends, okay? You can agree to disagree and move on, and that's what I got from that. And then also Boog was like, yo, I'm mad at you. Well, nah, he didn't say I'm mad at you. He's like, I feel a certain way that you like you still want to be friends with Talker Art at that. With Shartimus Prime has the right to be Talker Art's friend or deal with him. Like I said, we're all 40-plus-year-old men. I believe Boog and Shartimus still gonna be friends. No water under the bridge with that, man. But I always wanted to kind of like talk about this situation, because I be hearing them shits. I be seeing them shots being fired and little jabs being thrown. And be honest with you, Shartimus Prime channel was the first channel I came to YouTube, and I didn't know that all of that type stuff went on. When I got off his channel and started venturing out to other channels, I was like, oh my God. They hateful too, just like everybody else, man. So big ups to him. Let's give a round of applause for Shartimus. That was a big thing. Like, fuck all that little dumb situation in between them two. But I was glad that they came together. And I seen a lot of y'all in there too with y'all pom-poms on for either one side. I seen you. I even put a message up. I said, this is good for the culture. This is good. Once you air it out, let it go. And so we can get to an end, to a mean to this. Even if it didn't come with them being friends, they don't have to be. They don't have to be at the end of the day.
I come from the 99, but I'm in the 1. But I still love the 99. I'm gonna help the 99 get to the 1. I'm gonna make the 1 the 99.
But the reason I ask is because we always hear you talk about my culture. People don't. You say
my culture is like-minded people that have a good soul, that lead by love, not money.